Okay, the last concept for the day is food chain. All of you are aware of food chain. Vatsala, can you please tell me what is a food chain?
So food chain is the process when one organism, you want like the meaning?
First the definition and then give me an example.
Okay. So like food chain, first we have like the sun and grass, and it's, should I like you like there's,
Just give me the definition of a food chain. What is the meaning of a food chain?
I don't really remember the exact meaning, but it's like one
In your own
organism,
words, in your own words.
so like when one organism
Mm-hmm.
is
Dependent?
yeah, on another for food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then that like continues.
Correct.
So there are like lots of consumers. We have the
Very good.
tertiary
Yes.
consumer and stuff.
Yes.
So
Yes. Correct. So basically, we can call food chain as a process. In science, whenever we ask for definition, always if it's a process, just say that it is a process, right? So food chain is a process by which food gets transferred from one organism to the other organism, from one organism to another organism, right? But it will always start from a plant. Always it will start from a plant. And after the plant will come, because the plant is always a producer. Because this is the only living organism in the entire planet which can make its own food. Unmana, but human beings, we can also make our own food, isn't it? We also make dal, sabzi, roti, so we can also make our own food. So why do they say only plants can make their own food?
Ma'am, because humans can make the food, but the source from which they could prepare the things they need to prepare, they need to prepare their food, they get it from plants. So they say that like plants make food for us.
Correct. There is a difference between make and cook. Human beings cook food. We don't make food. Plants make food in true sense. Right? What is the kitchen of the plant?
And the leaf.
The leaf. The leaf is the kitchen of the plant. We too have a kitchen at our home, right? What all nutrients does the leaf require to make its own food? Carbon dioxide,
Water and
correct,
chlorophyll. Chlorophyll.
sunlight, chlorophyll, and of course nutrients which it gets from the soil. Can your mama or can we make food using carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, chlorophyll and nutrients? Can you make pakoda? Can you make dal pakwan? Can you make pakoda? Can you make khichdi out of carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, chlorophyll and nutrients? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No, we cannot. So we cannot make food. We can only cook food because we need this leaf. We need this spinach. Right? We need the brinjal from the plant to make food. So we can only cook food. We cannot make food. Just imagine if we have to make food only with air and water and sunlight and chlorophyll. What will happen?
Ma'am, we can never make it.
We can never make it. So in the entire planet, plants are the only living organism. That too green plants, not every plant. Only green plants can make their own food. So they are always and they will always be the producer. Just imagine these poor people, poor plants, they take sunlight, everything that comes for free. They have air, they take carbon dioxide from there, they take water, right, and a little bit of nutrient from the soil, chlorophyll which is already there in the leaf, With all these, raw materials, they make such beautiful sugarcane, brinjal, apple, potato, turnip, beetroot. Can you believe it? With such little inconsequential pear, grape, strawberry. With such inconsequential things, they make such lovely things. Aren't the plants really amazing living creatures, living beings on earth, living organisms on earth? Right? They really need to be, they really deserve to be protected and preserved and taken care of. There's nothing in this planet which can make such juicy and fresh, tasty fruits and vegetables like the plants. Correct? So basically their plants will always be a producer, and there will be a herbivore or there will be an insect which will have these plants. So this is known as a primary consumer. And then there will be a secondary consumer. And then there will be a tertiary consumer, right? Then there will be a decomposer, right? In between there will be a scavenger basically. There will be a decomposer, and once it turns into soil, that is back to again or inorganic material, it will again go back to this. Right? So this is the food chain. Syed, can you give me an example of a food chain, please? Syed, can you please give me an example of a food chain? Okay, Vatsala, do you want to give me an example of a food chain?
Okay. So like a deer.
Okay. I
It
always
eats.
said it will always start with a plant.
Yes, ma'am. So there's plant. There's a
Hmm.
plant, and then a deer eats it.
Correct.
Then the deer is eaten by a lion,
Lion, okay.
and then
The lion dies.
dies. So it like vultures.
Vulture, okay. It's a scavenger, okay.
Yeah, and then it decomposes. So
Correct.
decomposers like
There will be a decomposer, okay. And then it turns into soil. And then it will again go back as soil to the plant as nutrients. So this is a food chain. Correct? Very good. So can I give another classic example of a food chain? First and foremost, I will start with plants. Okay. First, let me start with grass. That's the most basic thing. I will come to what is a food web. Who can explain what is a food web? Priscilla, Vatsala, Arna, Unmana, Said. What is a food web?
Ma'am, I really don't know, but I'm just thinking that one, like one primary source, but there are two different secondary, primary eaters.
Correct, correct. So basically let's start with grass, right? And then there is a grasshopper which will have this grass. Then there will be one frog which will have the grasshopper. The frog will be eaten by a snake, right? And then the snake will be eaten by what? Who eats a snake?
Ma'am, the vulture.
Yeah, the vulture or the
Mongoose.
mongoose, correct. The mongoose, right? The mongoose. And after the mongoose dies, the vulture will have it, right? So let's just keep it till here. Now, if the grass is in the center point, right? A frog, what else can a frog have? A frog can also have a bug. A frog can also have a bug. The bug can also have this grass, right? A bug can be eaten by a cockroach, right? Cockroach can be eaten by a rat. Now the snake can also have the rat. The rat will be eaten up by the mongoose, or the rat can be eaten by the vulture. Right? So can you see the interconnection between these two food chains? So a rat will not have only cockroach. A rat can also have, something else. A snake will not only have a frog. A snake can also have a rat. The vulture will have mongoose. The vulture can have a rat. The vulture can also have a lion, which was actually having a deer. The deer was actually having the plants or the grass. So all the interconnection, what is a web basically? A web is an interconnection of all these lines, right? So there's something at the center, right? And these are these lines, right? Now a web is basically which all connects the lines. So if these are the lines, right? But these lines are all connected because an animal will not have only one organism, it can have multiple organisms. So that is a food web. Is this clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So basically a food web is an interconnection of several consumers, secondary, tertiary and primary consumers. It's basically a connection. It's basically an interlinkage. Just like a spider web looks, it's basically how a food web also looks. But in the center will always be autotrophs, that is plants, that is green plants. Right? And it will always end with decomposers. It will always end with decomposers. And it will always begin with autotrophs. Is this clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we quickly do a few questions
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
to
ma'am.
summarize? Okay. Arna, take up the first question.
The first link in all food chains is green plants.
Very good. Priscilla, second question.
Which of the following is a producer? Ma'am, a green plant.
Very good. Syed, can you please take up the next question? Syed, are you there? Yes, please take up this question. Answer this question. Which of the following is not a forest product? Very good. Very good, Syed. C. Unmana, take up this question.
Ma'am, fungi.
Very good. It's a decomposer. Vatsala, take up this question. Vatsala, are you there?
Yeah. All of these?
All of these. Very good, because they're all green plants. Excellent. Okay. So, exact amount of questions we had today, isn't it? So, your 5 of you, we just had 5 questions today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, it was I had a good time. I had a great time, taking all of you through this session today, because it's very less that we discuss about forest. We always discuss about green plants, we discuss about pollution, but it's very less that we discuss about forests, and it's very less also that we have,
Body.
Yes, ma'am.
and it's also less that we have seen forests. We hardly any of us have seen forests, deep forests, and we hardly know actually what is happening within a forest unless and until we see National Geographic, right? So I had a great time teaching all of you. I hope all of you had a good session. I hope all of you had a little bit of learning.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
good. That's really nice. So great. So next weekend, I'll try and put some questions from this chapter, right? So study well, revise properly. It's an easy chapter, right? Check out on a few videos. If there are certain animals that you want to have a look upon, certain rare animals which are getting extinct, right? So which forest is famous for which animal? right? There are species, several species of animals and plants and insects and butterflies especially, which are still being discovered every year. You know, especially in Northeast, Unmana, you would be knowing if you are from Assam, especially in Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, they are like dense forest areas. And every year, new species of plants and animals are being discovered by scientists. And these, they are named after those scientists. You know, so try and find out a few species. Just check how they look. If there is any new animal that, you know, the humankind has found out, which none of us know about it. So share this information with us, right? Put it on the UPrep chat or on the UPrep WhatsApp, and, you know, share all the information with us. Correct? That would be really great. All right? So see you all again next week.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, till then, all
Bye,
of you have a
ma'am.
great weekend. Bye-bye. Take care.